some shows that run on for way too long. For instance, Grey's Anatomy should have been canceled like 25 years ago. Okay? There is no reason why we have 105 seasons. There's like no reason. And I think we might have, I don't even know. I said I think like I used to watch Grey's Anatomy for like the actual show, right? But then it got really repetitive, as far as like people hooking up. And then I just started watching it just for the cases, because being in medical school, all that stuff was fascinating to me. Especially when you understand everything what the doctors and surgeons and everyone are saying, right? So I used to watch just for the medical, but then I just couldn't take it anymore. It was just way too much. It was like enough. And every season finale, somebody was, me and half the world was boo-hooing, crying. Someone died tragically. It was just a lot, right? And then you have another show called Supernatural that went on forever. And then you had shows like Smallville, which had like 16, 17 seasons. So there are TV shows out there that I truly believe could have stopped at like 10 seasons, 8, 10 years ago, but my list, I don't have many, because I see a lot of you guys have, covered the good ones, but the one on my list, number 1, is Alice in Borderland. Now, that is on Netflix, and it is, I think it's considered a K-drama. Now, Alice in Wonderland is a place where you have to play games in order to survive. Something like Squid Games, but more intense, right? It's like a different twist to it. It was done perfectly. Now, this is probably the only show that I can actually say that 2 seasons was perfect, and the way they left the season finale for season 2, it was done perfectly, to the point that if there is season 3, we would love it. And it did set itself up for season 3, but if we did not get a season 3, the viewers are still pleasantly, we're happy, right? So either way that show goes, it was done perfectly. But I think if I can get one more season out of that one, only because of what card was left on the table. If we didn't see that Joker, I would be like, okay, season 2 is good enough. But the fact that we saw that Joker card, it's like, oh shit. So, Alice in Borderland, I don't even know if there's a season 3 or not. I have Googled, I haven't found anything, and so I might just be stuck with my 2 seasons. But Alice in Borderland, Netflix. The next one is The Originals. The Originals is a spin-off to the Vampire Diaries, and if I'm not mistaken, they were both done by the same writer of the Vampire Diaries. The Vampire Diaries, which I'll get into, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I did see it on the list. But the Vampire Diaries, they went a lot longer than the originals, and I just feel as episode of that was not enough. And if any of you guys remember it correctly, a lot happened in that episode, which I appreciate, but then majority of the episode was dark as fuck as well. Between all the smokes and the bombs and the dragons, a lot of it was like foggy. I don't know. I just feel as if that big battle should have been done or thought through a little bit more. And then, in my opinion, there was still some unanswered questions that many of us still had. So, and then last on my list is Power. It's a show on Stars done by 50 Cent, and he does have a lot of spin-offs after it, but I think Power ended way too soon. I think we really could have done a lot more with that show. If I'm being honest, I didn't like the first spin-off. I think the first spin-off was about Tyreek. I couldn't do it. I do like the spin-off with Kane, and that seems interesting, although I didn't finish it. And then the one with Tommy, I really want to say the one with Tommy, but I said to myself after the third episode, I was going to wait for the whole season to be finished and then go back and watched it. But I started getting too much into like the K-dramas on Netflix and kind of forgot about that. So this summer though, I do have a list of shows that I need to like wrap up. So alright, so let's hear your answers and explanations. The first one says definitely Kingdom. It's a K-drama about zombies and it was amazingly written. It's truly one of my favorites. Yeah, the writing was amazing, and I actually watched Kingdom thanks to my sis Jazz, who recommended it to me. K-dramas have probably the best zombie shit out on Netflix. I'm sorry, call it what it is, but the K-dramas, I said it before and I'll say it again, the K-dramas are winning. I don't know who is writing these shits. I don't know if there's like a K-drama rule that all the K-dramas have to have this, but they seem to be balanced so fucking well. But yeah, Kingdom is definitely up there. There's another one, I think it's called All of Us. I like the high school one. Oh my god, I truly liked that zombie one. There's a few, but like I said, the K-dramas are it. Shameless. Now, I absolutely adored Shameless, but if I'm gonna be honest, I think it went on way too long. Again, I truly love Shameless, and honestly speaking, I love the way how the show ended, how Frank went out with the beer in heaven looking over at his family. Like, I actually love that part of it, and I like the fact that the show really showed a family that was fucked up, because half of America is fucked up, or half of the world, I should say, is fucked up, right? But for me, I think once they started getting older, and once Debbie started doing her nonsense on how she got the baby, how she got her baby, whatever, it kind of turned me off a little bit, you know. Anyway, for me, I think Shameless ran way too long. That being said though, that episode up until the end, right? Because Shameless is one of those that will have you laughing. Shameless was it. It was, I loved Shameless. Shameless was it. So, but for me, it, you know, I think it probably could have ended like 2 seasons ago, you know, but I absolutely love Shameless. Did you know that Shameless was actually a remake? It was it was a UK show at first. I tried to watch the UK Shameless and I couldn't do it because once I had, once I had the Gallaghers in my mind, there was no other Gallaghers that could replace the US Gallaghers, so, okay. Vampire Diaries, again, absolutely. So, the Originals that was on my list is a spin-off from the Vampire Diaries. It's been so long and since I watched the Vampire Diaries, but I think her name was Elena, right? Was it Elena? Or was that her twin, the evil twin, or her double gangers? Anyway, for me, I think the Vampire Diaries went on too long. I think once she kind of left the show, it wasn't, I felt as if we were struggling a little bit. When you have a main character like her leave, I don't know, it did lose a little something to the show. So, like they tried, but if I'm being honest, I think it should have ended when she left. Maybe like a season afterwards. But overall, but again, the Vampire Diaries, I loved that show. Absolutely loved it. I have nothing negative to say about that show at all. The only negative thing I would say about that show is if you're not like into romantic, TV shows, Vampire Diaries ain't for you. The Originals for me wasn't so much of a romantic story, if that makes sense, but the Vampire Diary was, this girl Lena fell in love with brothers who are both vampires, and so, but I loved it. I loved it. The Office. Don't kill me. I never watched The Office. I never watched it. I think I asked about it before because I think I see it. Is that the one on Peacock? I think that's the one on Peacock. But I've never watched The Office. I'm sorry. And I see someone liked the comment as well. I never watched. So I couldn't tell you, but let me know down below. Do you agree with The Office being canceled too soon? Let me know. And is it I watch anything, right? I find a lot of things funny. Things that I shouldn't find funny, I found funny. So I don't know, but let me know, is The Office really worth it? And do you have to have sometimes certain shows, you have to have like a special sense of humor about it, or Succession, you know what? It says Succession is ending this season and I'm so sad. 4 seasons is not enough. Need more. Well, Miss Rebecca, my oldest nephew has been telling me about that show. Since the day it came on TV, my nephew has been telling me, I think that's on HBO, right? He's been telling me I have to watch Succession. I have to watch it. If this is the one that has to do with like the siblings does not. He finds TV to be trash. A lot of it is unrealistic, and a lot of shows, let's just be real, does not hold my oldest nephew's attention at all. And that being said, Succession was on his list. Power and Game of Thrones. That's my nephew. Oh, and Black Mirror. And so that should tell you a little something if you want to watch something good. So the factor that Succession is on here and my nephew is addicted, I might have to give that one a try. Matter of fact, I'm actually gonna write that on my list so I will not forget. Okay. Oh my god. The next one. Yes, and yes, I am surprised this next one is not on my personal list. How the fuck did I forget it? Wentworth, and I'm glad she put that shit in bold letters. Wentworth is the best. Like, y'all, let me just hold on a second. Yeah, okay. And so Wentworth, well, first off, Wentworth is about a female prison. I do believe it's in Australia. I think I want to say it's in Australia. Orange is the New Black has nothing. What? That show is nothing compared to Wentworth. Okay, top dog. Was that what there was? The top dog? Are you the top dog? Red. Oh, I miss Red. God damn it! What the fuck? Wentworth. That's a show that should never go off the air, like ever. That show is on Netflix, and when I tell you that is the best show to binge watch, it's not for the weak though. It does have to do with a woman prison. Although their prison was a little bit nicer than most. It kind of was like I don't know, like each of them had anyway. But it is about a women's prison, and not as you know, not everything in jail is sweet. You know, there are stabbings, there are people who are getting revenge. So it's not for the weak, but it's also not like a bloodbath either, if that makes sense. It had a whole lot of Wentworth. Oh my god. The best prison show ever. There is another prison show, and I cannot think of the name of it. It was in Spanish though, and that was the first, not first, but actually no, it was probably one of the first shows I watched I remember it was 4 seasons. I watched all 4 seasons, and I actually had to read. There was no English dub or audio. I had to actually read what they were saying. And shows like that I don't like to watch because I spend so much time reading that I'm not looking at the characters, their facial expressions. So for me, when I have to read, I just miss a lot that's going on, if that makes sense. I need to be able to hear, look on the side, look in the back, look at how you look, and know what you're reading. I can't see all that if I have to read every time you talk. So, Spanish prison that was just as ruthless as Wentworth, probably even better. I'm gonna link it to this video because it was also a good one, and if you speak Spanish, baby, you are in. Oh, yeah. So, but Wentworth, I agreed. This next one, listen, I created a video about it, so the next one on my list is Breaking Bad, and there's a couple people who liked the comment, and it says, best show ever, and then someone said, I was gonna say the same thing. Well, as I mentioned, I did a video called I Never Have, and Breaking Bad was on that list. I have never completed Breaking Bad. Don't get me. I haven't. I didn't finish it. I did not have the same hype like everybody else. I did not. And then when I stopped watching it, when it came to an end, like nobody was feeling either the last season or it might have been like the last episode or the final episode. Nobody was feeling, and I hate shows like that. So I actually never went back to I never went back. I didn't. So but many people feel the same way you feel about Breaking Bad, that it was the best show ever and it shouldn't end it. I tried watching it a few times, right? I probably watched season 1 and 2 probably like 3 times. Like, I've tried it a couple times, and I don't know, I just didn't see the big hype that everyone else did. And maybe because I don't know, but yes, I would agree with you, although I didn't finish it. But Breaking Bad, I knew it was going to be on this list because many people really did love that show. Lovecraft Country, I never got into that. Lovecraft Country, I never ever got into that. I tried. No, actually, I'm lying. I didn't. Well, I glanced at it, but then when I looked that it was not renewed for a second season, I don't bother. Like, if there's a TV show that gets canceled and then questions never really get answered, or I don't bother. I don't. But Lovecraft, I do believe, like, if you like the supernatural stuff, Lovecraft Country will definitely bring up your alley. And last on the list is Mind Hunter. Got canceled and was never finished because Netflix thought the show was too expensive to produce and did not bring enough money in. Honestly, I'm not surprised by that, if that's the reason why it got canceled, because nowadays there has been an obsession with true crimes from all over the world, right? True crime has become an obsession in people's households, and there are so many like channels that just do true crime, like the ID channel. I think Oxygen just does true crimes and other shows, and then Netflix too is doing a phenomenal job coming out with these true crime stories. So when you have a show like Mindhunter, I never watched Mindhunter faithfully. I just jumped to like whatever episode I thought was interesting, or like if I'm doing a true crime for you guys or Patreon, I might watch that one episode, but I didn't watch it faithfully because many of the cases we heard of before, right? And this is a show I'm thinking about. Let me just same show that I'm thinking about? Oh right, like once I saw episode 2, yeah, Ed Kemper, yeah, I did. So again, I can understand why it got canceled, especially on Netflix, because like I said, Netflix has so many true crime documentaries right now that I feel as if many of them are gonna get lost and canceled. But I thought Mindhunters was very educational, you know. But it's funny that you said. Let me read that again. Netflix thought the show was too expensive to produce. Like, Netflix is going bankrupt. Are you kidding me? I have spent probably this year alone like 80%. Yeah, like 80% of my TV time has come just off Netflix, if that makes sense. I have other apps, but I think with Netflix, you get everything you need. You know, a little bit of everything, opposed to like, you know, Paramount or HBO Max or Max, whatever it's called. With Netflix, you can watch movies, oldies, newies. I said newies. International, K-drama, any type of drama you want, Spanish or poppers. It has like a variety of everything for everyone. And then we can't forget like the family section of it. So, but too expensive. Damn, Netflix is like that. Anyway, if there's any other show that you think belongs on this list, you know what other show though I thought that should not have been canceled? Criminal Minds. Criminal Minds was a hell of an FBI show. I don't care what nobody says. Criminal Minds should not have been canceled. Also, did you guys know that a lot of like, before I open my mouth, I just want to check one thing real quick. Okay, I need to go back to that as well. Chicago Med is still on the air, but I think they canceled The Resident. And there was another medical show that they canceled, which is crazy because I really liked The Resident. I liked The Resident more than the other one. There's 2 shows. But anyway, at least we still have Chicago Med, which is a really cool show. Chicago Fire, Chicago Med. Although I have slacked off on Chicago PD. Anyway, that's it for this video. I love you guys for watching. Until